So just before we kind of jump into the VOD itself, do you have any questions or anything like that, or any concerns that you want to ask me, or just kind of get out of the way before we jump in?
Not really. I just want to know what I can improve on. That's it.
Okay. All right. Okay. I completely understand. So if you ever have any questions throughout the actual VOD itself, and my dumbass is going on a spiel or whatever, or talking too much, don't be afraid to interrupt me. Because I want
Yeah,
you
I
to.
just want to say like,
Yep.
maybe ease off a bit the English. I mean, I'm not as good in English. Like, I understand most of it, but not as complicated sentences. So just
Okay. Yeah. I'll try to simplify the stuff that I
thank
that I
you.
go over. Yep. No problem. Um. But yeah, don't be afraid to stop me from talking if you have a question. Um. Just interrupt me.
Will do.
So this is a scrim, correct? If I'm not mistaken, from the title and everything like that, and also the.
Yeah, it's a
o-
scrum.
Okay, so um, are you wanting me to go over you specifically, or I could go over your team as well, and you could kind of relay some information if I ever see something. I could also do that.
Um, like you can whatever you like. Like if you see crucial mistakes by my teammates, you can say it. But if it's just like mini things, then there is no need to.
Okay, yep, no problem.
Is it one map or two? Do I play both or second map is other?
Is this a default ban for you and your team, Maverick on club?
Uh, yeah. That's what the coach told us.
Okay,
That we should ban Maverick instead of Fetcher.
okay. You guys have anyone on your team that's comfortable with playing Maverick?
Yeah, me.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to go against what your coach says because he's saying it for a reason, but the best way to kind of play a map and just get comfortable on it is playing with your default bans open, because it'll give you a deeper understanding of a map, right? Just because
Yeah.
if you keep banning the same operators over and over, then it's not going to allow you to try new things or just get a better understanding of the map and how to play it and stuff like that.
Last month they really said they want to go against it.
Keep that in mind. Just want to say,
Yep.
about you just streaming your, I'll say, monitor because I can't hear it.
Oh yeah, I have to stream my my monitor
So you can, yeah, okay.
yeah, Discord, so you can see that. Yeah. If there's any like callouts or anything, I'll just like kind of re-say what your teammate said just to give context to you, because I know you can't hear it. So just in case I need to go over a call by you or anything audio wise, um, I'll
Okay,
just I'll just
perfect.
go over that.
I was just making sure.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, I have mute on this account. I need to buy Valkyrie as next.
Is he are you and your team in any leagues?
Um, Not currently. We were before, but right now not.
Okay.
Что? Давай, блядь. No, you're rich, okay. No reinforcement, you're rich.
You should try putting laser on the bailiff, by the way. Um, One really good way to use the bailiff is to put the laser on, and then with a lot of pro league players or anyone who plays a lot of maestro, you'll see them kind of walk and shoot, so that way they increase the spread, but also still keep it somewhat small in a area, so that way it actually penetrates the wall, because the bailiff is a pretty difficult gun to make rotates in lines of sight with efficiently. It takes a little bit of time to do it. So try running the laser and try moving a little bit while you're doing it.
So I create bigger holes, but still I create holes.
It creates bigger holes, but it's more efficient per shot in terms of surface area per shotgun shell. So where is your reinforcements going here for the garage wall?
Those two go on the con towards Logi.
con towards Logi, and then I'm assuming you're taking the red reinforcement off.
No,
And-
no. So our reinforcement is rafts as well, 1 red,
Yeah.
2 garage, 2 con towards Logi, and 1 con towards outside. And the last reinforcement is on the
cash.
cash door, the left side, which is facing the bedroom door.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. All right, got it.
Con hatch, please. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Garage door open.
I'm gonna drop and go kitchen and see.
You're doing a really good job of playing Camster, though. You're doing your job well on Maestro. I played a lot of Maestro and comp and just in general, and this is something that you don't see a lot of people do. Or not I shouldn't say a lot, but a decent amount of people who don't really have the competitive experience don't play cams like they should, like you are now.
One is up. Vertical, yeah.
But was your mic disabled during this recording? Because I'm not hearing you talk.
Probably my recording wasn't picking up my microphone then, but I was talking.
Okay, okay. Did you call it that they were opening your garage?
Bar cam is down, yeah.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I nearly give every call when I know it's an accurate call. Like when I'm not sure about a call, I don't really say it unless it's in an important situation.
Okay, did you call that they were opening Logi hatch as well? Jackal was opening Logi? No.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Just wanted to make sure. Because I can't... I don't hear you. In the VOD.
2 edge. Yeah, we got both. 2 edge charges out. 3 edge charges out.
3 edge charges down.
So here, you don't need to be playing cams as much. There's a few reasons why. First, you know, you have 1 minute and 5 seconds roughly in the round. So, you know, you don't need to be on cams as much because this is where you should be kind of expecting things like this, the breach to start open. I'm going to expect that someone's going to be peeking your garage door in the next 20 to 30 seconds. And you also have a dead person. So instead of, you know, you being prone and possibly being put in a bad situation by not being mobile, you know, you have a dead person that can watch cams just like you are to relay the information and stuff like that, right? So just try to be in a more ready position. And what I mean by that is minimizing the steps that you're going to have to take if you are faced with a gunfight, which you're most likely going to be, because there's a minute or so left in the round. So you should be expecting to take a gunfight very, very soon. So you know, getting off cams like this is kind of putting yourself in a much more ready position, so to speak, right? Because it's one less step to do in order to take a gunfight. So you're actually hearing someone outside your garage door right now, and also in your bottom garage. Oh, that was weird. Okay, so did you just get on your cam and then get off?
Yeah, I got my cam because
it lagged there a little bit, like it skipped. What is the dead person watching here? Do you know? Can you not remember?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Wait, what's the time? Maybe
it's around. I think it's around like 55 seconds. I think when you die, 40. So when you die, it's around 40 seconds. But nonetheless, the reason I asked that is because he doesn't, like, whatever cam he's on, like the garage default is shot, and that's the only other relevant cam besides your Maestro cams, the one you put in CC and the one garage, right? So, you know, he doesn't need to be watching only one cam. So, you know, just make sure that your team understands the importance of swapping between cams, because you should not be the one who has to get on their cam, get this information, and then get off of your cam, right? So this is what I mean by being in a ready position. This Mazie, this dead person, should be watching the only relevant cams, which are, again, the Maestro cam and CC, and the one top rafters, right? So you know, you shouldn't be put in this position as the Raptors player, because as I was saying, you know, when there was like around 1 minute and 5 seconds left, you should be expecting to take a gunfight in the next 20 to 30 seconds. And we're 25 seconds later on in the round, and you're taking these 2 gunfights, right? So, you know, make sure that this macie, or, you know, whoever is dead for that matter, understands that they should not be watching only one cam, and there's red pings coming out as well. But nonetheless, you getting on your maestro cam again put you in a rough spot there, because now you have to go from prone and then, you know, find where they're at and stuff, instead of just staying gun up, gun ready, and using your dead person to relay that information. So take advantage of that, right? Take advantage of someone being dead, because even if they are dead, they still have a purpose during a round. And see also stuff like this. You know, it's a huge issue in comp and just ranked in general, that people end up watching the same camps as each other. So you can see that the macie, it says operated by the macie, right? So recognize that. Yeah, recognize this as well. I'm not sure if they got the CC Maestro cam. I don't have any of that.
It's still up.
Okay, it's still up. Okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm an idiot. So yeah, so you know, get on the next relevant cam, because if you see this in the bottom left or right, you don't need to be on this cam, because
I believe I do switch now to.
No, he ends up switching, and then I'm not sure if you switch as well, but he ends up switching nonetheless. But you know, you were sent to this cam for
this.
You know, for like 5 seconds or something, right? Like, you're still on this cam. That's 5 seconds that you could be on something else giving more information, right? But just make sure that you're paying attention to little stuff like that, and you know, verbally coordinate, because right now it's a 3v4. So the last 3 remaining of your teammates are going to have to stay not stay alive, but the people that are still alive are going to have to communicate with each other, because, you know, we're in the last 30 seconds of the round. This is when communication and team play really comes into work, or into play, because, you know, if you make one mistake and the attackers find that mistake and find that gap, they're going to take advantage of it, right? So
yeah.
You know, just little stuff like this, you can't really communicate and verbally say, hey, macie switch cams or whatever. So just pick up on that little you know, icon and operated by thing in the bottom left. I'm also assuming that you're probably giving verbal calls as well here.
Yeah.
So, which is also good. That's rough. 1v1. He's in cash. Where? Okay, if you're going to I don't know where your ADSs are at, but if you're gonna hold con like that, place the shield somewhere closer to Condor, right? Because one, the Ash that ends up going, so you have to think about it this way. In a competitive scene, it's gonna be much more coordinated, right? You agree?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
definitely.
After, if the enemy team is any sort of good, or has, you know, understands stuff like this, if you run this strat again, and they know that you have a shield here and cash, you know, the Ash is going below regardless for the bandit batteries, right? Like, she has to go below because Thatcher and Maverick are banned, right? Can you agree?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So she's already going below, so you're setting them up for success by getting a very important piece of utility, which is the shield. If they recognize this, you run the strat again the next round. I wouldn't be surprised if they get the shield without having any information on it besides the previous round information, right? So, one, shouldn't place a shield here because the Ash is already going to go below. So it's going to make it even easier for her to get this because it is on a soft floor. And two, I'm assuming this shield is for construction, right? For the construction push-in to cover this rotate and also play off of it for the Condor.
I genuinely don't know, because that shield should be on green box facing Condor.
Should be on green box, okay.
Like,
yeah, on top of like the cash green box, right?
Yeah, like maybe the smoke switches up, but I didn't know until Because I didn't really pick up on this.
So if you have you have 5 team members, right, and 1 coach, right?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
you know, if you don't know why a piece of utility is placed in an area, then that's an issue. In a competitive environment, every single thing that you do or any piece of utility that you put down should serve a purpose. It should be there for a reason. And if a piece of utility or if a piece of utility is placed in an area and there's no reason for that area for that utility to be placed there, then why is it there in the first place? Because if your teammates don't know why it's there, and if you don't know why it's there, you just felt like placing it there, then, you know, how are you gonna, I mean, you can still play around it, right? But having it serve a purpose and a reason it's there in the first place will get you much further, because that way you and the 4 other teammates on your team, or whoever it is that's placing down that utility, will understand the reason it's there, how to play off of it, and use it to their advantage.
Yeah.
So, you know, always keep that in mind. Like, always have a purpose in whatever you do, especially in a competitive environment, because it's going to be a lot more stressful. It's going to be a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for?
Pressuring?
Not pressuring, but just kind of, it takes more investment from your thoughts, is what I mean. You need to put more into it to get more out of it, so to speak. But my original topic here was the shield. So if you're gonna be playing construction, right, like your team is extending into construction.
Yeah, we were
off the reinforcements. Okay, so you know, place that shield in there. I don't know if you guys are placing ADSs. I don't have the blueprint of the strat. I don't know where all the utility is. I only know what I see from your screen. But place that shield in construction, because if they want to get rid of the shield, they're going to get rid of it no matter what. And if you burn that utility earlier, in support of ADSs where they have to burn, you're going to end up burning more for less, right? Because the Ash can just go below, one Ash charge, get rid of the shield. But if the Ash has to go into construction because she can't get the shield from below anymore, because the entire floor is concrete, right? So she can't get it from below. So she is forced to play into your strat now, instead of going below and countering your strat. She is forced to play into your utility, your positions, and stuff like that. And also, it's going to be, your shield is going to be placed in an area where you're trying to hold a piece of map control for much longer, which the shield will support you in construction. Because playing around a shield or attacking a shield, unless you're Bolo or like Shaiko, you're really not going to be able to kill someone off of a shield. So you use those things to your advantage. I know that was pretty lengthy and probably somewhat confusing, but I hope that made sense.
No, it made sense, trust me.
Okay, do you have any...
The shield should have not even been there at first place.
The shield shouldn't have been there in the first place? It should
should have been on green box. From the based on the blueprints from the strat.
Okay. Yeah, even then, I mean, change that goes back to what I was saying about it having a purpose. But do you have any questions after that round or anything? Any concerns? Are you confused?
No.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure.
Buck and Jaco came from Stoke.
Why are you bringing the impacts here instead of barbed wire?
2 things. First, I'm very easy to forget to change it.
Okay. Oh wait.
Second,
yep.
A second thing, we did use that once if they pressured too much of bomb garage and garage door, and we still had launch control in stock, that I just made with the impacts a hole into the launch wall, so I can get more support.
What holes?
I do forget it very often.
What holes is the Vigil making with those impacts?
I believe none. No, he makes. I don't know. I believe none.
Okay. I mean, first off, bringing Vigil for CC, definitely isn't too great. Bringing, I don't,
Mozzie.
like, pretty much anything besides Vigil, even bringing Legion, like, Legion is going to give much more of a purpose with his utility than Vigil will, because Vigil's a very selfish operator in terms of utility. So, you know, being forgetful is fine. I do it all the time, but really try to get into the habit of pressing spacebar every single time you have dead time during, you know, the load phase or whatever, the operator pick phase.
Yeah.
Always try to keep your teammates on their toes with their secondary utility, as well as yourself. It's a really good habit to fall into, because that one time that, you know, you're in a game day or something and you guys, you know, miss a bulletproof camera or miss a set of barbed wire, and then that ends up losing you the round, could happen. So it's a really solid habit to fall into,
Wait,
especially in competitive scene.
I will place one charge.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Is that your wall?
It's not my wall, and I
Okay.
did get pissed off, and I mentioned it right away when I saw it.
Oh, it's fine. We won't hear you piss anyway, because you're muted. It's all good. But nonetheless, so I want to ask, does your team have any set reinforcements?
We do. The thing is, we had a tryout in that game, and
Okay.
that is kind
Okay.
of his, like, you seen Pig face me often not like collecting my operator is because I talk in that moment and I get off track and I don't pick my operator.
Okay. Yep.
Outside soccer, can use that. Like crouch.
So even though you guys are extending into construction, first off, I don't know why three people are in lounge, but why is nobody playing construction if you're going to extend into there?
It's because I said at the beginning, we should have one person in construction open up the con hatch, one on stage and one in lounge, because they did a heavy lounge take. And I thought, okay, if they're not attacking construction, barricade off the construction door and then drop stage to then help downstairs. They ended up all three being downstairs.
Okay, so that answers my question of three of them being downstairs. Right? Is that what you were answering?
Yeah,
Okay.
like
But
I tried to adapt to the enemies what they were doing.
did you guys have any one construction side last round?
Last round, yeah, we had two. We had Jaeger in bedroom, Vigil in con.
Okay.
Then Vigil went downstairs, and Jaeger went back to side.
Okay.
Another drone gun. 8.
I think
he's
we're on
jumping.
6 already.
Fucking hell, okay.
Okay, here, so you know, with someone playing cams like this, you don't always need to visually see someone, right? You still have audio cues. So if you don't hear, or like if you don't hear anyone, that probably means they're not wanting to take this directly yet. And also a really good indicator of someone trying to take map control as an attacker is how much they're droning it, or if they are droning it. You already saw one drone, I believe, go into garage. You haven't seen any other drones go in after that. I'm not saying that is a 100% guarantee that someone's trying to take that map control, because someone could drone an area and not take it, and someone could also not drone an area and still take it, right? But it usually, under most situations, it means that they are wanting to take this map control. You don't know when, you don't know, well, sometimes you know how, but you know, you should be expecting someone to take that. So if you see a drone, it gets destroyed or it leaves, and you don't see another drone then, you know, get on other cams. So if you guys are knowing that it's a heavy lounge take, Jackal also went through bar last round. Make sure that you're checking other cams. You still have a default cam outside. I believe that's graffiti cam, if I'm not mistaken. And graffiti cam is the one over here that is, yeah. And then you also have bar cam, you have top logi stairs cam, and you also have bottom main cam. So, you use those to your advantage. Also, learning the lineups of the default cams really helps a lot as well. Learning the numbers and where they're at, because it'll tell you what cam is being shot and by who, based off the audio of the weapon. And also learning the numbers of the default cams will tell you the position of that operator. But you're doing exactly what I was just saying, which is a good job of not only watching that cam. Buck is also near your bottom garage right now. He just shot the default cam. You should be communicating this, which I'm expecting you are, just based off what you've done previously. So as I was saying, that's the jackal bar that came last round, and then then you have a buck outside garage this round. Is Cade banned here? I wasn't paying attention to defense. Okay, he was. All right. I was gonna say, because bringing Bandit over Cade is a kind of a not necessarily wasted ban, but
the enemies banned him because there was
okay, yeah, Thatcher and
Thatcher
Matt.
was
Yeah,
banned.
yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
If you open here, I can try to cover Jenna. Dead. Another one. Right side, below you.
Is that?
Was that a smoke canister? It was. Okay, so here, as the Rafters player, why did you go like rotate side, or sorry, window side, like R3 area?
because I thought they knew last round they attacked R2, me on R2. So I thought maybe if I switched up to R3, they will pre-fire R2, so I will have a few seconds of advantage.
Okay,
Like
so
to reposition from last round.
yeah, I can see why, but that's actually, at least from my experience of playing Rafters, it's usually not the best unless it's a very specific scenario. So if we're just falling under the assumption that the enemy team is competent enough to punish you in this area, but you know, if you play R3, right, you can only go back 90, which usually isn't that great because R2 gives you the most cover for the most part. So like crossing 90 all the way to R2 is I mean, you know, you could die doing that, or jumping through the window you could also die because you're helpless by that point. So, you know, if they're going to take garage control and you have two or one person downstairs still alive, you need to be trusting in your teammate that's playing lounge to hold your crosshair. And once you hear them start shooting, then you swing off of their contact. But like nonetheless, you still played the situation really well. But just from my experience, and you don't have to take this, you know, you don't have to listen to me here or anything. If you feel comfortable doing this and it works, that's great. But just from what I understand about playing this position, usually it works out a little bit better if you play R2 and actually, you know, put that trust into your teammates. Also, another thing is, if you were able to play R2 here, you would have been able to impact trick that lounge wall, right? And this buck this buck wouldn't have been able to walk into the bottom garage. Also, if your team is going to play lounge that heavy, give them some shotgun holes. Because if you're like, what you did in stock is what you should do to the lounge wall, right? So that way they can be challenged. The attackers can be challenged by the people playing lounge, your teammates. Alright, we can skip this though. You already won it.
Talked about it.
Yeah. So I'm assuming Zudifa is the tryout.
Yeah.
Okay, so why is your teammate obsessed with Vigil then?
It is because it's on the strat, and I do said many times outside the scrims that he should play operators like Mozzie, Melusi, Legion.
Yeah, I mean, like as I was saying earlier, Vigil is such a selfish operator. Unless you're going to be playing a solo area where you need the support of his scanner, or you're going to be hitting a heavy roam, or your team can afford to not play him, or sorry, can afford to not play more important operators like on maps like Coastline, you know, then it's understandable why you would want to bring him. But on a map like Clubhouse, there are far better options to bring than Vigil. I mean, you can watch countless VODs from Pro League or whatever and see how often Vigil's brought outside of the SSG roam. Probably won't be brought that much. I'm sure you'll still see him, but not as much as what you guys are bringing him right now. Like, if he wants to hit the solo roam for a basement, that's fine. I could understand why he would want to bring Vigil, but for a CC cash, that's definitely not the move in my opinion. As I was saying earlier, you can bring Legion and it'll help support you and your team so much more, especially for holding the construction side. Because you
even macie, it's more useful.
Yeah, exactly. You have a nitro cell. You guys are already bringing smoke at least every round, so that's one shotgun. And you also have the nitro on macie as well as counter intel.
I don't like this. Mend it for some cold.
We said one construction, right? So, but they can shoot it like from the drone.
Are you meant to bring barbed wire here or impacts?
No, impacts.
Okay, just making sure.
I mean, I know it's kind of a bit of a useless now to impact trick the kitchen hatch because of the hibana rework.
I mean, it's not necessarily useless. It just depends on what you're trying to get out of it. If you're trying to deny the hatch, then
waste time.
Yeah, exactly. You're trying to waste time, which is fine.
Fucking Jakku sucking.
If your team's not gonna play dirt, actually, never mind. Never mind.
Rotate main.
Do we have a
Joining bathroom.
Do we have a
Bar.
shoot?
Why are both your team? I'm confused here.
Buck dead, that's cool.
I don't know why both of your roamers are so close to each other.
I'm trying to, but I can't. It's
You want me
We already had this talk.
He's trying to take direct gunfights as a roamer.
I know we had this talk. It's like, I don't know if you will hear it in this VOD, but Pim, the soft support who's playing Smoke, a scrim before when we played Clubhouse, me and him, we basically criticized every time they roam because we keep telling them to shoot the drones, hold something, and then drop. If like, you don't need to take gunfights as a roamer, just waste their time, and they keep on dying in like 1 minute or 1.5 minutes.
Yeah, see, like here, yeah, they like, if they play the roam like this, I'm assuming that you probably don't have that good of a success rate on defense, do you? Like you and your team probably struggle quite a bit on defense, right?
It's like we are so inconsistent because sometimes the defense works out really great and sometimes it just falls apart. But in my opinion, I would say the biggest problem with our defense is just the roaming part, because I don't think they understand it's not important to take gunfights. It's important to waste the time.
Okay, so what you can do is either, and this will only take time, but what you can do is either tell your teammates to turtle, so that way they can, because they're taking direct gunfights. So the people that are roaming need to learn how to worry about time as their number one enemy, or not enemy, but they're, how can I say this? Time as their number one asset.
Priority?
Yeah, priority. Thank you. Yeah, that's excellent. So, they can, forcing them to turtle on site and like telling them like before a scrim, like, you are staying site like this entire scrim, even if it doesn't go with your strat, or you guys have a horrible scrim. It's more important for the long run that your teammates play together and mesh well than it's 3 it's 3 teammates on site and then two roamers trying to play off of each other for picks.
Hmm.
Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it
Okay.
makes sense. That's what we do in cafe, a different scrim. Basically, I got
Okay.
really pissed off with them. They couldn't roam. They died every time we played kitchen, and they third floor roamed. They died in like 1 minute, and I got pissed off and told them, "You turtle, I don't care if it's not the strat. You stay on site. I don't give a shit."
Yeah. That's fine. That's completely justified because so you have that option, which is them playing the same operators and they turtle so that way they can understand how important time is, or you and another teammate roam or whoever is comfortable on it and teach them how to roam. Because like here, this is a perfect example of, or there's 2 examples that I'm about to go over that are reasons why these two don't know how to roam. So you guys still have top main default up, right? So you guys still have top main default up. You have 2 roamers upstairs, and this vigil's dropping and the Jaeger drops as well off of the first bit of contact in the first 40 seconds. Yet they have everything from CC room over. Yeah, they have all that map control, all of it. So even if one of them dies and the other one stays above, that's a late flank there. If they don't roam clear that guy, like, that's huge. Like, they are playing so unbelievably scared. Like, I am assuming that no enemies are going jacuzzi side, because by now the top main default would have already been shot. So that's one reason why they're not efficient at all in the roam. And 2, they're roaming together. And 3, they take direct gunfights here. So there's actually a few reasons. Like here, they get the immediate refrag, but he should have never died in the first place. And then this vigil tries to. Oh man. That gets me upset. I'm not gonna lie.
You're not the only one.
Oh my goodness.
And my team is now very open when it comes to me telling them when I'm not happy.
Oh, we have no common stuff.
I think one is Adam. I got it. I have not got a drone.
Oh, they got hatches.
How many drones are we on? I got 1 drone.
Okay. But we have no. Never mind. I can't. I need to hold main set. Like, should you fall back or should I?
Draining?
Where to?
I'll say that's like 7.
What?
What?
Oh shit on. That one is main, by the way.
They're opening my stock hatch.
They're like above
I'll
me.
fall
As
back.
Bottom main,
One
left
big
side.
drones.
Left side, bottom main. Going
Bottom ice
motor.
Is he going moto?
He's short.
Smoke out the door.
I got drawn. He's close. He's still there.
That's 6, I think.
5.
5. One's on kitchen hatch.
There's someone on your stock hatch. I don't know if you realize this or not. I've been hearing this guy for the past 20 minutes or 20 seconds.
One is blue.
I
I'm gonna smoke.
probably am calling it out blue because otherwise I would not be looking at it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that would make sense. But he's on the stock hatch though.
Wait.
Cause you hear him. Hmm.
Now
Kitchen drop. There's on the kitchen drop.
Your teammates were a little bit out of position here for the most part. So, you know, if it's a 3v4 like this, you need to, and if you're hearing someone blue, you need to have someone go blue. And then you need to worry about dirt. Because now, what you have to worry about, your stock drop, you have to worry about your kitchen drop, and also dirt. You should not be worried or forced to,
I'm gonna smoke the
Did he
kitchen.
drop?
you should not be forced to worry about 3 different areas. So if you have someone go blue, could be the mute here, probably, or it doesn't really matter, but just have some sort of presence there, so that way when they try to take blue control, you refrag, or kill this guy, whoever's playing blue. And then what you can do is hold an angle on dirt. You kill that hibana most likely because she crouched walk past your angle that you would have been holding. And then you just play off audio drop for kitchen hatch.
Yeah.
But this is effectively a 2v3 here. Because I'm assuming one might be bottom main, one kitchen hatch, one dirt, one
dirt.
blue. So you have 2 different 1v1s, possibly 4. Because if someone's bottom main holding cross, and if you guys killed a fuser, the only person you need to worry about after that is killing dirt guy, because he's the closest person to diffuser. So if you eat up that time, that's excellent as well. Even if you die killing dirt guy and kitchen drop. If you die after that, you did your job. But yeah, you know, yeah.
Like when the kitchen hatch is open, where is the best spot for me to play as a master? Because it's just like when I play dummies, I don't feel comfortable because I feel like I don't have cover at all. When I play AK, for example, it just feels like I'm just crossfired from 2 sides, blue and dirt.
Mhm.
And when I play back in Arsenal, it's just easy. I get drowned out and I get killed from above, like when they open up the kitchen floor. And when I play dirt, it's just like close ranged. I believe in dirt should play somebody with a shotgun because it's just like close cornered. Because like where should I play?
If I were you, I would be comfortable playing either dirt or dummies, because you can get an angle through the kitchen hatch from box 3. You're also concealed from blue for the most part. You can play with audio cues if there's barbed wire there, or just audio cues in general. And you can also contest dirt, but you're doing it all from safety. Or you can contest dirt directly, and then have your teammates call off your maestro cam kitchen drop. That's always an option as well.
Mhm.
But you need to, like, the position you're playing here on AK leaves it up to too many probabilities. Like, there's too many things that can happen to you in your position for you to comfortably play it. This position right here, arguably, in this situation, is the worst position to be in. Because now you're in a 3-way crossfire with a wall behind you, which is AK rack. So you have to fight either blue, dirt, or kitchen drop. But yeah, I would say I would say either dummies or dirt.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so the Ash did go bottom main. I want to say she came from Moto.
Watching the drop on that ping.
Maybe not. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Wait,
Just for the sake of your time and what you're paying for, if you don't mind, I can start skipping through rounds where you go to the same bomb site twice, just so that way you get the most benefit.
Yeah, of course.
Because you have currently 22 minutes, and we probably won't even get to the attacking side with the rate that I'm going at. And I hope I'm providing some value here, because I feel like I might be talking too much, but if it's helping you, then that's great.
It is.
Okay. I just want to make sure. So are you okay with that? I just want to make sure, because you're paying for it. This is your. Okay. All right. So do you guys end up winning this? No, you didn't. Okay.
No.
I just saw the Ash with the kill cam. Do you
I
guys?
believe what happened was the Romas died again, and
Same thing over and over. Do you guys scrim 6-6 or no? Format?
6-6, yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure. That's usually
This is a 6-6.
That's usually always the better format to scrim under.
Yeah.
Leaving your drone as spawn as thermite is really good.
It's closing stock. Falling lift up CC.
So do you guys have a set attacking strat or no?
Kind of. Like, I do say every time when we attack a site how to attack it.
Okay.
And I said we're gonna go for top to bottom roam clear, and then vertical play, and then Arsenal take.
Okay, so I actually wanted to clear the air on this. So I'm assuming you're the IGL for your team?
Yes.
Okay, so if you're the IGL and you have people like those 2 roamers that we were talking about previously, you need to you need to buckle them the fuck up, because if you don't
What does that mean?
pretty much fucking yell at them.
Oh.
And because if they're not willing to listen, then they're a waste of time, to put it simply. If they're not willing to listen to their IGL in a competitive environment, then they are a waste of time. And if you keep telling them over and over and over, like a broken record, so to speak, then it's just wasted oxygen by that point. So yeah, like you as an IGL, if you are like not authority, but if you have the voice of the team and they're still not listening, then that's a choice that they're making, and it's also a choice for them to listen. So you need to make sure that they make their mind up of committing to one of those two choices, so that way you can find out if they're worth your time or not. Because if they're not, then you either find a team or you find two other people. You know, because that's just wasted time by that point. You're wasting your time as well as theirs. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you need to have if you seriously want to take competitive, like serious, you need to have a very proper discussion with them. Not like a 20-second or 10-second discussion in between rounds, like a team discussion. Because you are no more important than your team.
Bedroom hall is clear.
Especially as an IGL, you should always put your team first.
Yeah.
Yes, like you guys are double you guys are double entering here, which is not good at all. If you guys are gonna do this, what needs to happen here, instead of having two people walking in through master, sucking each other off, and you have a sledge going jacuzzi that's late, like this is all off tempo here.
Okay.
So sledge needs to be in position the same way the Ash and the Zofia are in position and entering in at the same time, with them equally having the ability, or sorry, them equally having a drone or drone them in. It should be a pinch maneuver, not a let me flush them to your side. Because what you're able to do here now is, if this Ash leaves, she spawns dirt side, she opens the main stairs window, or the Ash can entry where the Zofia is entering, right, from CCTV, and then the Zofia gets on the construction window and cuts off the rotate. Because as long as the sledge is playing jacuzzi, he can still hold main stairs rotate. And as long as the person playing construction is holding the con window, then they're either going to have to cross through construction and die by the Zofia holding the cross, or they're going to have to drop down the construction hatch into bar, and they're also going to die because Zofia's on the window. And then you also have this pinch maneuver. So you have 3 different spearheads on the map, resulting in a pinch, but also a cut off of the cross by the Zofia playing construction, or the Ash playing main stairs. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I should basically put more time into splitting and cutting off rotations.
Yeah, because it's you have to think about, as an attacker, taking percentages of the map. You have to think about it like this. So, how important is a section of map control as an attacker for you, and how much time and energy are you willing up, or how much time and utility are you willing to give up for that piece of map control? You have to think about sectioning off the map of map control that you need and that you don't need. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if you apply that basic layout of a pinch maneuver as well as a rotation cutoff, it is going to help your attacks tremendously. Because the first 30 seconds to a minute of a round is going to set the entire tempo of
the rest.
Yeah, of the rest of the round. Because if you have a good tempo in the first 30 seconds to a minute of a round, then, or sorry, what I should say is, if you have a bad tempo in the first minute or 30 seconds of the round, then later on as the round progresses, you're going to have to start cutting corners in order to make up for that time that you wasted in the first 30 seconds to a minute. The first initial attack, or the first initial seconds of an attack round, is what is going to make or break you winning that round. And yes, there are miracle plays, there are solo plays, there are this and that, and what if, but that's That's at the end of the day, that's siege. What we're talking about is a much more macro level than just than those situations, because those situations can always happen. It just depends on a lot of different things, right? But it's always important that you have a blueprint, you have an objective, and you understand what you want to do as an attacking team. So if you apply that mindset and that blueprint to all of your attacks, it'll probably instantly, of course if your team follows through with it, instantly help your attacks. And that's just a very basic thing to do. Some teams might do something a little different. But that's also something very specific for a team, so maybe a counter strat to a certain defense, or just the way that team attacks. But just for a base layout, and for your team in specific, doing that is always important. And see here, like, even, like, you're droning areas of the map that have no importance to you, because now, what if your drone gets shot? There's nobody there taking the map control, right? Like, the closest person here is, I think, someone in lounge, or sorry, in bar, right? So, yeah, like, the closest person, I think, is Hibana getting moto hatch right now. So if you're yep, what's up?
Just to explain, like, I did leave my drone there also because I said I'm gonna enter for garage. It's like when I turned around and I saw nobody's actually taking lounge and swarm control, I immediately, like, I saw it and I got off my cam, because there was no really point of me joining it. Like, usually the Zofia, she should have been already in main entrance or lounge, like, really following my drone. But she was, I don't know where the fuck she was, fucking bomb main stairs.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a very basic blueprint right now that will help you on this map and also every other map. So what you need to worry about as an attacking team is, if you're going to do a top-down clear, you always need to make sure that you equally put the same amount of pressure to taking the middle floor control as well. Because on Clubhouse, you essentially have 3 floors. You have top floor, middle floor, and a basement, right? So technically 3 floors. So let's just say this here is the first floor, second floor, and third floor, right? So this right here is top floor. So I'm just going to draw a box, but this is the first floor of Clubhouse. This side is going to be CC. This side is going to be hot tub, right? So you essentially, from just using our imagination, you can see what we're dealing with here, right? And then I'm also going to draw the middle floor. So this is, let's just say this is blue here, and then this over here is strip. Okay, so then you have, like, bar here, and then you have, like, main stairs here. So once you start taking, so you have Zofia entering through CC like you did. You have Sledge enter through Jacuzzi, and if you're going to do this here, then have the Ash go con window, yeah. Or it could be the Zofia. She could go on, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the garage rappel, but you can go, like, on the corner over to the southwest there and cut off the con rotate from the actual garage rappel. But nonetheless, doesn't matter who, but in this situation, I would prefer to have someone go con window instead of main stairs window, because you have the Sledge to hold main stairs cross, right? So once you do that, 100% top floor is clear, okay? So then you start worrying about middle floor. Well, how should you attack middle floor? Attack it the exact same way. Apply the same blueprint and the same knowledge to attacking it. So you still have the same people. Let's just say in this situation you have your drones. Then the Zofia walks down red stairs or goes garage and walks down. That would be you droning her in. The Sledge goes strip side, or not strip side, sorry. Goes kitchen or billiards window, I should say, and cuts off the rotate there, and then someone's droning him in, and then once billiards and lounge is clear and blue is clear, then you drone strip and make sure all that's clear. And then you have to make sure that you're holding the staircases. Now, the reason why you're taking the map control this way is because the Zofia can hold blue control, which will be here. So Zofia is playing bottom red stairs somewhere right around there. The Ash is sitting outside main door somewhere around here, right? So now what you've applied the exact same blueprint to
The first floor.
the middle floor, exactly. So you have the sledge cutting off rotates from strip side and also through bar. You have the Ash cutting off lounge control, and she can also contest bar with the sledge. Or the Ash can also go help the Zofia. And then you have Zofia taking garage control and blue stairs control and lounge control. You've effectively done the exact same thing and applied the exact same blueprint to the middle floor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, and then you have teammates sit main stairs, and then you have Zofia sit blue stairs, and then have her claymore off the oil pit. And there you go. You have all of the map control you need in about, let's just say, when I used to be on my old team, we used to try to roam clear as fast as we could. And not like try to be sloppy with it, but my old team used to be like the T3 gatekeep, like SSG gatekeepers at Clubhouse. We were like the T3 Clubhouse. Sorry, SSG. And I think the fastest we ever roam cleared was like a top down clear was like 1 minute and 20 seconds. Which isn't horrible, but it's also, I mean, it was all right. I think somewhere around like 1 minute 20 seconds or something like that. But nonetheless, apply this blueprint to Clubhouse, and then have the same thought process. If you're going to top down clear, have the exact same thought process. Understand how a map is engineered, more specifically for the cutoff rotation person, right? So it'd be the Ash of the Zofia construction window, and then perform a pinch maneuver, and it's that simple.
Okay.
Just apply that very basic blueprint.
Main stairs. One is placing a shield on spot.
Because now what you've done as Thermite is someone could be walking up blue stairs here right now, right? And
I was worrying about that.
And you would be dead here essentially. That's why you need the Zofia there.
I have a pulse. I don't know if it's pulse.
Melusi charge.
You're back checking my.
Why are you opening Moto if you're gonna?
It's because like we had it. It depends how, like, because we had some rounds. We had some rounds on attack where me and Zofia took blue, and then everybody from church peeked us, or like then we changed it to a church attack because we have seen some things in T4. I can just say that. Some questionable things, which I like. There were like shields on 3 shields on AK, and then I just said to my team, "We're gonna switch
3?
3, yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Holy smokes! Talk about a 20 second meta. Holy smokes!
And I just said to my team, we're gonna do a church attack. Like, they immediately changed to go to motor, hold main. We then put make sure that they can't wide swing the motor guy who are pushing in thingy, and like we just changed it to a church attack. That's why I always open it. That if I see something like that again, then we can change it.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, instead of you opening the moto hatch, it should be Hibana, because if Cade's banned, then they can't get the hatch, right? Like they can't deny it. So you would much rather use 4 Hibana pellets than an entire thermite charge for it, correct? It's just Hibana is usually seen for getting hatches more than anything. At most here, on paper, they can only have 4 impacts, which is more than enough to get kitchen hatch and moto hatch. But why are they trying to go for kitchen? So what is the attack here in this round? Is it church or kitchen?
It's Arsenal. It's kitchen and drop plant B1.
Okay.
That's because we take blue, we then try to, like, we didn't took blue in that round, but that was default to take blue and then to drop in Arsenal and to go for a plant while covering.
Okay. Okay, if you're gonna take kitchen control, then you need to get dirt control. You have to. It's like It's like if you want to take kitchen, you need to take dirt. If you want to take church, you need to take moto, and like have someone blue. It's just like it's the yin and the yang. It's why it's like the +1 of it, I guess, or whatever you want to say. But you have to take these, because if you don't, then it's gonna come back and bite you, like a great deal. Like for when you were playing Maestro Arsenal, the round that we went over, if they didn't open dirt and you played dirt, that could have been round over right there. It's a power position essentially, right?
Yeah.
So understand that if you guys want to take kitchen, you absolutely need to take dirt equally as much. If you guys want to take church, you need to take moto.
And who should be taken? Or should it be me
Uh,
going towards that, or should it be
yeah,
I open it but somebody else goes?
yeah. You should probably open dirt here, and then Hibana worries about kitchen, and that's the only thing you need to hard breach.
Yeah, but who should take that? It should be like, or just depending on the situation.
It should be like a 2. It should be a 2-1. It should be a 2-2-2-1 split here. So like end goal, like last minute of the round here, ideally, and what I envision is you dirt, sledge working kitchen with Hibana. So you dirt with like Zofia or Ash, and then so I lost my train of thought. Okay, so sledge and Hibana kitchen, you and Ash or Zofia dirt, and then whoever the 5th is holding bottom main cross.
Okay.
And taking control of moto. And then or you could flex that bottom main person to blue, because blue is kind of like a playmaking position. The same way playing T1 stairs on Oregon as an attacker and attacking it is also a power position, or sorry, a playmaking position. And what I mean by playmaking is like 7 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10, that person pushing blue on Clubhouse or pushing T1 on Oregon is going to have to get like a refrag or have to push unexpectedly, stuff like that. Because I attacked a lot of blue, and it's definitely a playmaking position. Like that's why you see a lot of gunners there. Like SSG is known for having really solid attacks in this map. That's why you see entry like I'm drawing a blank here, Fultz take blue, because he has great mechanical skill. And he's just an overall fragger, right? So he can win those 1v2 engagements and bait people out and stuff like that. And he also has the aim and mechanics to back it up. So, like for example, if they are not holding dirt and you can take it for free, like if the door's barricaded, then that person that's taking dirt with you can then rotate blue, and then you can also afford to have someone bottom main stairs and then 2 kitchen hatch.
Yeah.
Because now what you've done is you've effectively cut off all the flanks. They cannot retake upstairs unless someone dies, right?
Yeah.
So whether it be the blue player or the bottom main player, if one of those 2 people die, then they can take main stairs. Or sorry, not main stairs, but go upstairs rather.
One is box one. One is box one.
Smoke rings.
Smoke tag.
There's a shield on ping. One dead, smoke, nothing.
That's unfortunate. Your teammate needs to slow down. He's walking into their cross without you being able to refrag. Also, this is what I mean by it being a power position. Or sorry, not a power position, a playmaking position. Like, you shouldn't have to push down blue unless you have to push down blue, right? Like it's just how it is. You need to have the distraction set in place first. If you watch most Pro League VODs, unless the blue player has a really good opening, like if there's no utility there, no barb, no melusi, no info on them, then they're gonna take blue because it's a fucking super powerful position. Because you have 2 options, and you're also cutting off a lot of rotation, as an attacker. So, you know, you need to have the distraction set in place first if you're gonna double take blue like this, because nobody is really pressuring Arsenal, nobody's pressuring bottom main, so the defenders are able to afford to look blue and get these 2 picks here because they're not being punished from any other angle.
Yeah.
Like, you should be pushing blue as your teammates are dropping kitchen hatch to go for plant.
So we should time it better.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We'll go over we'll go over one more round and then wrap it up if that's all right.
Yeah, so it's fine by me.
Okay. You guys actually won this round.
Secondary.
Second.
Wait,
Tell
wait.
me what?
Lounge, you need to
Yeah.
sandwich that one guy.
The castle's closing bar side.
Yeah.
A fat thing, I think. Eh? We're not gonna talk about that one.
I can see. Thank you.
Wait, I will go back far away.
Joining start.
It's what to do another.
They've got line of sight.
I don't know if someone
start.
is like prom picking it. Wait, I will see.
One in stock by
Yeah,
the.
they,
Is this round? Oh my god.
he's on ping,
Melusi's
he's
got
on ping.
C4 by your breach.
You shouldn't be using your thermite on that because they might be bandit tricking. So your number one focus, it should be CC wall first, because you can't. I'm assuming you guys are gonna want to take garage control, right? Since you are opening bottom garage.
Yeah. The take is CC breach garage take rafters.
Okay, so opening garage like that is fine, but if the hibana does it, because you know, opening bottom garage is fine, but you can't walk in, especially when they're holding lounge like this. So, you and pretty much everyone on your team, including you, besides the hibana, should be worrying about taking lounge control here. And her opening the bottom garage is completely fine this early on as well. Because that way she can add a extra layer of pressure and a different angle of pressure through the garage breach. But nonetheless, in order for you guys to take CC or garage control, you need to take you need to open CC wall first. And in order for you to open CC wall in this situation, you need to take lounge. So this is where you and the 3 other people on your team need to put that utility and manpower forward.
Adam's castle though.
Everything's been casted.
You need to have someone main door here, which is the sledge.
Sledge.
Just jumping Adam.
He died.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Main door.
Is this Ash just in? Did they castle off Adam?
One is a bar. You could probably
I believe they did.
Wait, I can ping him. He's on the
Oh,
wall.
I know what they're doing.
Yeah, we did
is
counter change. We did. I'm just gonna say adapt to it. Like the third round we attacked them on CC, or the second round we attacked them on CC. We just went from a kitchen to bar take,
Wait,
and
what
having
garage?
a sledge just holding the cross from outside garage because they had a
One
rotation
guy
there.
He's on the door.
Only we got him.
Okay, so your attack is all over the place. So what like you like and your team just need to have a basic blueprint and a basic layout of your attacks, positions, and why you're here, so that way they understand why they're playing positions. Because if this hibana opens the bottom garage breach and all this is open, they need to own this breach by this point.
Yeah, bandit lounge.
If you're going to try to take a piece of map control as an attacker, you need to own it. Because if you don't, it leaves up the possibility of
I'm gonna try.
the defenders retaking it.
Valkyrie on ping.
Mm-hmm.
Valkyrie on ping. Bandit run out thing. Valkyrie straight on ping. You can go on stock on wallbanger. He's pushing up and launch. Two guys.
Now, Melusi garage stairs.
One garage, one stock, one lounge. Last one probably cash.
Another one.
Bit 2 lounge.
One lounge, Valkyrie. Nobody is actually in sight.
Yeah, they all run. One is garage them.
Yeah,
Jenna
all
on ping.
running.
On
One
ping.
guy is up
On
the
ping.
top red stairs.
On the ping here. A bit right side. Standing.
He's in lounge.
He's in lounge now. In the door. I can ping one.
Main door.
You can't be playing this passive here. I know you're low HP, and I know you're trying to get some picks here, but you have to be the aggressor. kind of falls under what I was just saying about
Mine don't know.
Speaking main door.
owning a position as an attacker.
Don't many do.
Right now, you're doing what you should be doing. Or sorry, right now the defenders are doing what you should be doing of owning positions. That you should be punishing that Velk immediately for playing bottom of garage like that, because that was a dumb play by her. And if you have full info on that, that guy should be punished immediately. Especially with low time and low man count. There's also someone on your main door right now, yeah.
He's back again. He's coming rotate. He's picking rotate soon. Left of the rotate. From your right side, Tommy.
Still main door.
Don't
Valkyrie.
mind
Oh, I'm sorry, that's my bad. I thought you.
Does that all make sense though? I think, like, for you and your team, the number one thing you guys need to do, and you guys can afford this, is on defense, play around with different roles, so that way the roamers actually understand how to roam. Because those weren't roamers in my eyes. In my opinion, those weren't roamers. Those are just rank stars.
I can agree.
Because if you guys aren't in a league and not playing for money, you can afford, you know, making these mistakes and these changes. Right? So take that opportunity and use it to your advantage. And on attack as well, apply a very basic blueprint structure skeleton to your attack. That will help out tremendously. I think that's the number one thing that inexperienced teams lack, especially on attack, is just a very basic skeleton and structure to their team. It'll help out so much, because instead of having to communicate every round, every game, every map of what you want out of your team, where you want them and stuff like that, they should know automatically.
Yeah, we had attacking strats. It's just like sometimes I feel like my entire team just, I don't want to say throw, but they throw on purpose because they don't follow, or they just don't do that what we have practiced. Like,
Do you have a
it's
team
just
captain as
sometimes-
well? Or only an IGL?
what do you mean?
Team captain is like the leader, the
I am both.
Okay,
It's
so
just like
yeah, you need to. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 18.
Okay, so you know, apply that authority, because if they don't listen, then, as I was saying earlier, they're not worth your time. Because if you're, it's like filling up a glass with water. If you're putting 80%, if you're filling up the glass 80% with your water, and your team equally split between them is only filling up the last 20, then what's the point by that point, right?
no.
You're putting way more in than you're getting out, so to speak. So apply that authority. Have like serious discussions with your team, not like, as I was saying, just mentioning stuff or whatever it is. Like having those discussions is what separates a team that is willing to get better and wanting to get better, and is hungry to get better, right? If that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
someone might say they like their team and they want to get better, but if they wanted to, then they would be willing, or they would be wanting to do those extra steps and those things outside of the scrim lobby in order to get better.
Yeah.
So you know, applying a basic attacking structure is I think the number one thing that you and your team is lacking, as well as on defense.